Good morning. Welcome to Morning Java
What's up, Dan?
with its two most tenured participants. Now it feels like Java's all the way back.
Yeah, man, this is crazy, right? When's the last time you and I did a Java?
I don't know, but like we need to, because we're used to doing like all kinds of like fist bumps.
Bam!
And
Now we
stuff
got to
like
do
that.
elbow
What
bumps.
do we do now?
Yeah,
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's the
Elbows
elbow
are
bumps.
good?
Yeah, man.
I don't know. They're probably going to ban elbow bumps
No,
in a couple days.
those are safe. Those are safe.
Today's random bobblehead guy getting sanitizer is
Famous Amos.
Amos Zeraway. And he's here only to symbolize that we have bobbleheads for damn near everybody.
Yeah, I'm actually very impressed by this. I've gone through this collection several times, and I've been like, man, the amount of players that they had. My dad might have you beat on overall players because he keeps McFarland's and he collects like crazy.
Yeah, well, the Amos Zeraway one was actually really good here. We're always brought to you by our friends at the Get-Go Cafe and Market,
indeed.
which is still open and still has everything going on. Carter,
What's up, man?
what's happening in the world?
What's happening in the world? Everything is shut down except the NFL. It's
How about that?
March Madness can't be here, but March Madness and free agency is always
So for you,
here.
this is like nothing's
Nothing's
changed.
changed.
You're
Well,
just
I'll
this
just- no.
It's like you're the Leslie Nielsen character that's the GIF. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where he's going, nothing to see
There's
here,
nothing to see
nothing to see
here.
here. There's
That's
all
me.
these
That's-
rockets and bombs going off.
That's
around
me
it.
straight out of Police Squad.
Because Carter sees there's still stuff on NFL Network, so it's all good.
Look, man, every day there's a new sign. I mean, I do miss March Madness. That's my second favorite tournament to the NFL playoffs. NBA and NHL are usually the time that you can watch both and be like, okay, these games matter because the playoffs are around the corner. So that does suck. But every year around this time, when free agency opens up, I just love to see all these crazy teams come in and make moves. You see teams like the Steelers kind of make reserved moves, but still, good moves for
They haven't
themselves.
been all that reserved the last couple of years.
Last couple of years,
Yeah.
but compared to the Browns, who just spent $100 million on three
That
players,
didn't take long.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Day one, they're just all the money's gone. So for me, there's still a bit of excitement here, and you know me. I don't get much time to watch because I'm all busy watching guys in the draft. Like, okay, let me see what this random guy at Bowie State did. In week 8 of college football. That's me 24/7, man.
Had the Browns made it through the opening of free agency without doing anything stupid, how much more concern and worry would have spread through the world?
It would have been like, oh God, everything is changing. This is the sign of the apocalypse.
But they did do stupid
They did do
things,
stupid.
didn't they?
So we know things might someday return back to normal.
That's right.
Because the Browns are still normal.
God bless the Browns.
God bless the
God bless
Ooh,
the
when did I
Cleveland Browns.
ever think I'd say that?
There they are.
Ugh.
This wouldn't feel like the full return of Java unless Carter and I
Disagreed on something?
disagreed on something.
Oh.
And genuinely so.
We do, yes.
The Steelers have made an effort to restructure Vance McDonald's contract. My version of restructuring Vance McDonald's contract would
cut
have
him.
involved a recycle bin of some kind. Why? Why do you want him back?
Because here's the reason.
And don't give me Nick Vanette or whatever.
Well, no, but
Okay,
that's what I'm saying is they don't have any other option at tight end that's realistic right
that's
now.
a Nick Vanette argument.
But here's the problem, is that you only save $5 million by cutting Vance McDonald. Then you are down the only player that you have available that would be a number one tight end that would know your
From
system.
the outside.
That's what I'm saying. When you look around the free agent pool, a lot of these people, Austin Hooper, a lot of people are talking about this guy, the guy from the Falcons. The Browns just signed him for buku money. Hunter Henry, he's going to go for buku money. Maybe you could get Delaney Walker, but he's played like 8 games in 2 years. That's the issue is that, Vance, at least the past 2 seasons, he has missed an average of 2 games per year. That part, no, but that's true.
Asterisk.
That's true. But
yeah,
that's the
but
case.
he's been damaged and banged
he's been
up.
damaged,
and
but
to his credit, he's tried to tough through it.
Right.
But let's not pretend like
not-
he's missed 2 games that's it.
No,
I mean,
but my point is that Vance McDonald is not he does not the contract that he was getting, and that's why they had to restructure him because I think they came to him and they said, "Look, buddy, you either got to take less money or something else has
you're
got to
cut."
happen."
Yeah.
But I think it's important that they did that because they need somewhere to have a placeholder at tight end right now. Because also, this is not the draft to get a tight end early on.
That part we won't disagree on. But here's my counter to that.
What's up?
What bothered me the most about Vance McDonald's performance in 2019 was not his availability.
Okay.
It was not his being banged up. It was the actual performance.
Okay.
I didn't see separation. I didn't see the kind of blocking that he's done in the past.
The blocking, yes, was a big problem.
And then I also didn't see the finish. Okay, Vance McDonald, look, he can live off one stiff arm
Chris Conte's soul is somewhere still above
in
Tampa.
Tampa, and yes, his
soul is still somewhere above him. It's just floating.
But he can't live off of that.
No, I agree.
And that guy, Chris Conte,
Poor
was
guy.
still a corner.
Yeah, he was still and yeah,
It was a tight end on a corner that we turned into a poster.
It was the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen. But
it was very rude.
right, but and I agree, he can't live off of that.
But you looked like you were about to disagree with the performance assessment.
Well,
Where did you see separation?
Oh, okay, go to Next Gen Stats, look up his separation stats. Maybe it changed in week 16 or 17, but throughout most of the season, he was among the top players that was getting separation per yardage. And as I illustrated in my latest Vance McDonald classroom I did about a month or two ago,
Yep.
he was getting there were several times he did a 10-yard hook pattern. Would have been a first down.
See, the
Mason
problem,
Rudolph
though,
or
the problem with arguing with me, Carter, is that I read all of the classrooms.
Right.
And I read... And
So
I
how do you
also-
not see that he's
because
open
I
all the
also
time?
read the ones in which you defend Randy Fichtner as saying, "Oh no, he's absolutely throwing over the middle. He's certainly looking for the tight end." And when I rip Fichtner, I got to get grief from you.
Yeah.
But oh no, the offensive coordinator, he's brilliant.
I didn't say he was brilliant, but
Okay.
I'm saying that you. Okay,
He's
here we go
absolutely
again.
throwing across
This is
the
the
middle.
next segment.
You can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways, Carter.
What do you say?
You can't say that he's getting separation and then the quarterback never looks there.
But that's been my whole point, is that the quarterback doesn't look at him. I mean, there's literally plays where I've broken down where a guy is standing in the middle of the field doing this, and he doesn't even look at him.
Okay,
that's the
and that's
issue.
not on the coordinator in any capacity.
How is that on the coordinator when
Because
there's
here's how
the quarterback
here's how.
has to
Here's
make
how.
the decision.
The quarterback comes off the field. Coach Randy says, "You see the dude wearing 89?
Okay.
He's the one jumping up and down beyond the line of scrimmage."
And what happens when the quarterback goes back on the field, does the same exact thing wrong, and then you come out and say insanity is repeating the same mistakes over and over
That's a little too
again.
much player blame for my taste. A little too much. Anyway, whatever. He's back. Big
He's
deal.
back.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. I can't wait to talk about Luke Mailer, some third string.
Stop! You're in the next challenge. Get the hell out of here!
Baseball.
Go!
What
Go.
is this?
What the? Listen. If he
Baseball.
brought up Jacob Stallings, I could at least rant about Kevin Stallings, but he didn't even do that.
No, he comes at you with Luke Maley.
Like, I don't even know who that is.
He's a 151 hitting backup catcher.
God, I mean, is the starter hitting 151 too, though?
Carter, other than chasing the baseball guy out of the room, what are we going to do with ourselves?
Oh, just keep the NFL draft's coming, baby. It's still on point. April 23rd to the 25th. Now, granted, most people aren't going to be attended. There were 600,000 people who went there last year. That can't happen. But
They were going to be walking on water. Did you see that stage they built in Las
they were going to
Vegas?
do a boat to
The boat?
Yeah.
This is the most Vegas thing ever.
It was ridiculous.
That you were going to the draft pick would take a boat out to the stage and still hug Roger Goodell. Now, just the thought of hugging Roger Goodell.
I think we both need to take a hit of sanitizer for that. But there's still a lot to talk about. I know a lot of Steelers fans are thinking, oh well, there's no first round pick. There's nothing to talk about there. But in the second round at 49, there's going to be some talent, and especially at the running back position. Dale and I have been talking about this in
Wait, what other
Sports on Tap.
position would anybody even be discussing?
Well, a
for
lot
the
of people
Steelers
want the
as a top
offensive
pick?
line because they didn't like the way that the offensive line performed in the second half of the season. They looked at Matt Filer. Yeah, I'm with you, but I understand their grief because they're like, oh, I miss the days when it was Gilbert when he was actually healthy, along with Pouncey and DeCastro and Villanueva and Foster. I get missing those days, but the biggest thing they need is a playmaker on offense that can take the ball out of Ben's hands so he doesn't have to throw his arm out this year.
Well, let's talk about that because taking the ball out of Ben's hands can come in two different forms. One can be obviously the handoff, and the other one is catching it. Do you care if that running back is someone that's just a between the tackles guy?
No.
Why? And don't say Jalen Samuels because when
no,
Jalen
no,
Samuels comes on the field, he comes with this neon sign that says, "We're about to throw."
No, but here's my biggest factors. This guy, one, protect the football. How many times has this team been killed by running backs that can't even hold on to the football? You think about James Conner, you think about Stephen Ridley, the Broncos game from 2 years ago, the Niners game from this year, the Saints game from 2 years ago.
The most underappreciated aspect of Le'Veon Bell's greatness and the way he was, and I don't use that term lightly, his level of performance when he was with the Steelers was at a great, like a Hall of Fame level. Was that he didn't lose the ball.
Never lost.
We're not talking about that he had some Jerome Bettis build to him. He protected it. He knew, and when people think of protecting it, they think like it just means hold it harder. No, it means learn how to move it, how to transfer it, how to. Lev was tremendous, and still is, I'm sure, with the Jets.
And his spatial awareness was very impressive, and that's why he could dance through zone blocking
Draft is
schemes.
Coming, everybody. He just used spatial awareness.
But that's what I'm talking. You see me? I'm on it.
That sounds like a CDC term already.
I am CDC. Christopher David Carter right here. Boom. Dropped it on him. What do you even know about that?
Wow.
But to continue it right there, ball security and being able to make defenders miss in open space. They didn't get enough of that.
Who is that player?
There's a few of them. One, J.K.
Give me one.
Okay, my pick, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, running back for LSU.
Dale loves him too.
Yeah, I mean, and I pointed him out to Dale, and Dale was like, he's a little too small. But I was like, yeah.
Oh, you just want to stake? You planting the flag on Dale here?
No, I'm not planting the flag. But no, because we've talked about this, and he's like, yeah, but I do like what he brings to the table. The one issue is that Edwards-Helaire, because he's small, he's not the optimum pass protector for Ben Roethlisberger. So that's the hesitation that you might have on that.
And
but
with the Steelers, that's a big hesitation.
That's a big hesitation. But
you can teach that.
He fumbled one time in all of his college football career. He's a receiver. He's a playmaker. And when he went up against Alabama, there were plays where Alabama had him dead to rights in the backfield, and he would just plant a foot, spin move, and he'd have the wherewithal to say, hey, I can make the next guy miss too. That's something I think the Steelers have been missing. I think Connor is, again, he's a power runner, which I've always said he is. You need to give him a lead blocker, and then he can make it happen.
Well, here's the one thing I'll contribute to this, and that is that I would not bury James Conner.
No, I think that would be a mistake.
Not just because we know about who he is as a person, but if you take away, and you most definitely will, take away snaps, you're also flattening his curve, if you will, in terms of getting hurt. Okay?
See what you did there?
Okay, but that's what it is, because it's math. Fewer snaps, fewer chances to get hurt.
Right.
James Conner can still be, my goodness, a weapon.
Oh yeah, I mean, we saw it 2 years ago.
If you draft this running back that you trust, and again, there's a lot of
stuff there.
There's a lot to unpack in Latrobe with that individual. But if James comes in as your third series back, and you go with multiple sets back there, and you get Benny Snell involved in some point, you're facing an opponent that you do want a runner between the tackles, that position can go from being what it was this past season to something else entirely in 2020.
And that would prevent Ben Roethlisberger from having to throw for 5,000 yards, which was a problem. And man, when you let him be that play-action quarterback, that style of Ben Roethlisberger that we know and love, that's what will bring back what the Steelers need to have. A balance on offense so that the defense can wreck shop the way we think it will.
Java's all the way back when Carter references play action.
Woo!